I'm here with George Vicary.
Hey, right.
We're going to shoot today for ICOV, and I'm just going to ask a couple of questions about how George got into photography, being like an independent kind of business. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with your background, how you got into photography and why.
Well, it was quite weird. It wasn't really anything that I planned to do.
Yeah.
It was more of just a sudden change of heart, I guess. Because what I used to be obsessed with was I wanted to be a model, but I knew I'd never get to that point. So I decided to took a different route into it.
The place that you're in now is completely different to when you first started. Like, it's total opposite. Like, people's comments and the way they kind of, take you seriously.
It's a shock. It was a massive shock.
Yeah, they're really supporting you now. So, like, do you want to take us through your journey?
Well, at the beginning, it was just me and a couple of friends messing about with a camera, just to take photos, and really it was just for exposure on social media, just like profile pictures and Instagram posts, nothing like very serious. But it was through the help of some groups online. Like, there's one called The Basement, and there's other ones based for certain kind of clothing lines.
Yeah.
And we were posting pictures in there like quite consistently, and people started to like the pictures more and more.
Yeah.
And that was when I started taking the route of getting out of the pictures and actually taking them instead, because I found that I was enjoying it more than I was being in it, and there was less comments. I wouldn't say there was no comments, because back then my pictures still weren't as good as I'd hope they'd be.
Yeah.
But there was less comments, like me trying to look good on the internet, basically.
So do you think that if you was to look back at your photos now when you first started, would you be like, think, oh, that's an achievement, how far you've come? Or do you look at it and think, oh my gosh?
I think every aspect, there's always space for change in all photos. Like, even now I look at them, like last week I take some and I'm like, could have done that a lot differently. There's always room to differentiate with what you do. But when I look back at the oldest ones, I was like, what was going through your mind when you took that?
I think everyone goes through that phase though, like on social media, you're like, why? But you've like progressed. So like, have you had any photographers like giving you support, like inspirations and things?
Yeah, so recently I went to London Fashion Week in November, and I took a few pictures of people taking pictures, which was
That's
it's
cool,
quite a weird concept. But one of them, Ashley Verse, who's a photographer I followed for a while, he's based heavily in the grime scene of music.
Yeah.
But he got a Fashion Week job inside the pit, and I took a picture of him, and I made it into these new kind of composite photos that I've been making, going into more creative style. But he pushed me to do it. He was like, yeah, that's a great idea, and a few comments online and a few tips, and he's
so it's like, do you think that other people, like networking with other people, that's a great way to like boost your confidence to get your like business kind of up and
started?
rolling?
Yeah, definitely. Because as well, it kind of creates kind of a snowball effect, because people see that bigger people are supporting you, because it would be a lie to say no one's bigger than anyone else in the industry, because they are. But when people see someone in this kind of hierarchy support you, it pushes them to support you as well.
So have you had any like standout events that you've done?
Yeah.
Or you have coming up?
Yeah, so last year was my first major gigs really. I had South Beats Festival in the summer, which just came.
Was huge.
Yeah, that was a really big, especially it being in Kent as well, which wasn't really expected. So many headline acts, like Kano came, Wilkinson, so really big names, and to meet them and take photos of them was an experience. But I think that is kind of in the shadows compared to the gig I did at Coco in London with Akala. Yeah. Because was a really big impact on me growing up from like 10 onwards.
Yeah,
like his music isn't for like 10-year-olds, but I would always listen to it. That's it. And when I got the opportunity, it came from just taking a picture of him in the street, and then in the end it was backstage at his gigs, and it was just an amazing change over a short period of time.
Especially for someone from Kent and Deal, it's like
Yeah,
a really
definitely.
small location. When you step into things like London, you realise that you're not limited, if you know what I mean. Like, you could take a picture of anyone on the street and it's turned into like,
just it can spread across. That's the help of the internet as well. Obviously, people see something online, they're like, wow, look at that. Go to the next person. Go to the next person.
So, do you have any like collaborations that you'd like to do in the future,
yeah,
or you have coming
there's
up?
definitely a lot of people I'd like to work with, but it's just getting that opportunity, really.
Yeah. I want to ask your like main challenges that you faced.
I feel like the first stage, getting out of the you're not going to take this serious phase, because a lot of people had my back at the beginning. I don't think they meant it realistically. Even I didn't have my own back at the beginning. But getting past that was really difficult because I had to tell myself that I need to do something different.
Yeah.
And I'm awful for criticisms. Like I just can't take it at all. So me trying to tell myself that was really difficult.
But that's good. That's like a step in the right direction.
Definitely, yeah.
Because I mean, I mentioned about you being like a independent business. You need to be like strong in order to like promote yourself, take that criticism.
Definitely.
It's hard.
When someone from a kind of higher standing says it as well, it hurts you a little bit, but then you're like, I need to take this advice seriously, otherwise I'm not going to go anywhere. Okay,
so I want to ask what equipment you use, and has that changed over the time that you've been taking photos?
Well, I remember the first camera I got was borrowed from my granddad, because he kind of, I don't say he got me into it, but he kind of helped me with giving me this camera to borrow. And I say to borrow, I kind of like took it and never gave it back to him for a really long while. It meant a lot to me. It was a really old Sony. I think it was called the A700, something along those lines. But then I thought, as I was taking it more seriously, I have to upgrade. There's no way you can go into the industry without better equipment. I say that you don't need the best equipment, because a lot of it is creativity based, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely, I agree.
But it really helps to push you. And so with the Nikon D5500 that I got, it's kind of mid-range, like it's nothing expensive, crazy expensive, and a couple lenses. It gives me a bit of diversity to do what I want.
That's
good. A bit more range in what I can do, what photos I can take.
Because I was going to ask, it kind of follows on from that, how do you like educate yourself to take better pictures, to know how to get what you want? Like,
yeah, it kind of all stems from just one point, and you look at it and you go, okay, this photo, what could I have done better then? And then it kind of, like a kind of river and tributaries, it kind of goes off into little other pieces you can think of. So I remember looking at my photos from the Akala gig and going, what can I do with these to make these better? And it was the creativity kind of aspect to be different, and that's how I started making these composite photos where I scan things in, items that I would have taken with me on that day, which add a meaning to the photo. What story do you try and portray a story through your photos? Yeah, I feel like when you take a photo, it has to actually mean something. Yeah. There's a lot of photos that I see at the moment that are kind of just, I'm going out to take a photo. There's nothing wrong with that, but if you want to be successful with it, I feel like there's a lot you need to be different. Yeah. So do you have a favourite piece of work? That's really hard because one of my my favourite piece of work from a ridiculously long time ago is when I first started. Really, it was just me and Toby taking photos at a store, Supreme in London, and it was the opening of the store for the first season of their clothes, and I remember this guy just leaning there in this outfit, and I was like, okay, that's a cool photo to take. I took it and I was like, wow, I feel like I could do something really good with this, and it got reposted into quite a few places, and I'd look at it now and be like, that's not a photo I should have taken, but it got a lot of attention because it was good for that specific criteria to get reposted. It worked really well. I don't think anything can replace the gig at Akala with all the photos that I got there. Yeah. and there's just stuff about raw emotion that you can see in this crowd, because they must have been addicted to his music. They were going crazy for him. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
It's nice to be a part of something, but you're not actually directly
That was
involved.
it, and I had to capture it. And it's of this crowd, and there's one guy at the front screaming with his like arms like out, proper going for it, and I'm just like, that's raw emotion, and that's what I want to try and kind of purvey into.
Okay. So obviously you'll be going to uni fairly soon. You mentioned that you want to be based in London.
Definitely, yeah.
Do you think that on the side of your uni work, you will continue your photography business?
Yeah, definitely. It's become more of just a hobby now. It's definitely a part of me, especially with how I'm trying to put out my work now.
Yeah.
And as you said, network between people. I've met people that have given me stories that I can't just be like, okay, I've taken some pictures now, I'm never going to take photos again. That's even like what I'm known for. I get to go around people like, oh, it's GV photography. Oh. And like, I can't just let that go just because I'm going to do further education. I'm going to take it with me, and hopefully I want to kind of implement it into my education. I'm doing psychology, but there's got to be a way that I can mould them together.
Why not?
And that's one thing that I've been kind of researching, not super in depth because I've got a long while, and I think that stuff like that deserves to grow over a long period of time, like steadily go at it. And then when it comes, you'll know, and it'll click, and you'll be able to do something like that.
Do you find that social media has a massive influence on your work and your business?
Yeah, so a few times I've looked at pieces of work and been like, that's an inspiration to me. I want to kind of put something out like that. And I don't want it shouldn't come across as plagiarism, because it's like inspiration, someone else can put a different spin on it. Because I've had people have like done similar things to my work, and it's like, it's a nice way to see people grow together, in my opinion. And I think that's the power of social media, is that you can meet people that have a similar interests and do similar things, but can do it in completely different ways.
Yeah.
Especially that's how a lot of my gigs came through, was through social media. Like, my website has been, it's been so powerful for getting an audience, and it's unbelievable.
I was going to ask, do you do everything yourself, or do you have a team to help you, like with your website?
Yeah, no, I've always been that kind of, I'd rather do it myself than tell people what I want to do.
Because then it's done exactly how you want it.
That's it.
The last thing that I want to ask you is, can you give just one piece of advice to anyone that's kind of scared to break through and actually, overcome the fear of everyone criticising you?
It's about putting the effort into what you want to do, and once you realise that, if you have found something that you enjoy doing and it's given a positive effect while you're doing it, then you've got to ask yourself, what's the reason to stop? If people are saying you should stop, that's more of a reason to carry on doing it if you enjoy it, because you can make something from it. And that's what I've learned, really, is now.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us here at ICOR.
Thank you very much for interviewing me.